In this video, we'll be talking about our experience in looking for a day home for Sabrina.
Yep, and the processes that we had to go through to figure out whether a daycare or a day home is a better fit for our daughter and our family.
Hello, lovely people of the world.
Magandang araw sa inyo lahat.
안녕하세요, 여러분.
Ahlan wa sahlan.
This is Justin and Sarah and Sabrina.
Say hi.
What are the things you were looking for when you were looking at day homes or daycares?
So obviously, the first thing I look for is availability. I mean, it would be nice if I could find the closest day home or daycare to our community. First thing I did was Google like day homes or daycares in our area. And then based off of that, I start checking out the reviews of the closest ones nearby. Actually, it wasn't just Google that helped me find day homes. We used Kijiji.
It's a classified app.
It's like more of the private, sort of personal day homes that are not necessarily licensed, you know what I mean? For me, it didn't matter whether they were licensed or accredited. I had to do a little more research, and I even asked questions with these daycare operators and asked them like, what is the difference between a licensed daycare and a non-licensed daycare? And basically what we learned was that it's not the same, by the way, for everybody everywhere in the entire world. It's just here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This is what I learned. So I learned that a licensed daycare or day home tend to follow the guidelines based on what the government's guidelines are for schools or schooling in general. When we talk about private, non-licensed day home or daycares, they base their guidelines and childcare philosophies based off of what they personally would like their day home guidelines to be. And they also adjust it according to the parents' preferences, requests, needs, suggestions.
Also based on how children are reacting to different teaching styles.
I prefer that because no two children are the same.
Typically, a licensed daycares are about $500 more expensive than the non-licensed day homes that we saw in our neighborhood.
But yeah, the average price for day home here in our area, at least, is about $1,000 to $1,400 a month. We've learned that there's a difference between daycare and day home. We had chosen to go with day home because day home actually focuses on limiting the number of children per staff ratio. So it's one staff member, generally speaking, one staff to 6 kids.
That's same case for daycares, but they have way more staff in the same building. So that means there are way more kids in the same building.
But then see, the problem with the daycare is that it's a bigger space. So you got like say 6 staff and each of them takes care of like 6 kids. I've heard stories where there's actually like 3 staff to 30 kids. So one staff takes care of 10. I've heard stories like that too. So I personally wasn't comfortable with the fact that she is going to be around that many children and that there's that many children under one roof. You know, this is our first time and she is our first child. Sabrina is our first child. So we kind of wanted to make sure that she's being given the utmost best care, best loving care out there. And yeah, personally, I prefer one day home operator or staff focusing on 6 kids and then that's it, under one roof.
And we're also going through a COVID-19 pandemic, and if there are 36 kids in the same building, chances of COVID-19 spreading is a lot higher than only 6 kids in a building.
Elephant! That's right! Elephant goes, woo! You love your elephant? Yeah, that's the sound elephant makes. There's so many articles out there, you guys, that you can Google and find out like what questions do you need to ask as a first-time parent, what questions you need to ask these daycare or day home operators. By the way, we'll be posting the questions in our description box below. So the first question is, what's your general philosophy in childcare? It's really important for us to find a childcare operator whose answer to this question jives with our answer to this question. I prefer a childcare operator that would focus on education, not just, babysitting, like just making sure you kill time and all that. Focuses on education, firstly. Secondly, focuses on the personal development of your child. So like working with your child's growth, development, social skills at his or her own pace. And thirdly, making sure that the focus is on proper nutrition. A childcare operator that we had chosen, first of all, she's super awesome. But yeah, secondly, what we loved about her is that she focused on all of those things. So she also teaches multiple languages. So she teaches English, French, Spanish. She also focuses on teaching, the basics like alphabets, numbers, weather, the calendar, so like days of the week. And also I think every week she sort of focuses on, say, like planets this week, and then next week would be focused on shapes, something like that. What I love about her too is she makes sure she doesn't just show them and teaches them that way. She makes sure that our kids are hands-on. How many children attend the daycare, and what is the staff to child ratio? We had already discussed this in the beginning. We prefer a smaller class size. What do you serve for meals or snacks? So let's say like if your child has allergies or if they're still drinking breast milk. So in Sabrina's case, she does not have any allergies just yet that we know of. Look at this girl. Also, I had to wean Sabrina off of breastfeeding, unfortunately, after 17 and a half months of breastfeeding her. What activities do you do with the children? How do you handle discipline or challenging behaviors among children? For instance, like how do you as an operator handle biting, hitting, tantrums? What we liked about the day home that we went with is that they focus on positive reinforcement. She doesn't use negative connotations when she deals with difficult behavior. So for example, she doesn't say, don't do that. What she does instead is that she explains to them like, when you do that, it hurts that person. Or when you do that, this person cries. So, and then what she does also, she uses distraction methods to redirect the child from, say, a tantrum or whatnot. She tries her best to use positive reinforcement and distractions instead of punishing the child or, making them feel some shame or sense of guilt. That's what we love about her. For example, like if you as parents tend to use cloth diapers on your kids, take that into account as to whether the day home or daycare operator is all right with cloth diapers. Make sure you also mention any unusual schedule of yours and your baby that requires special attention or flexibility. Daycare policies, whether parents are allowed to drop by whenever they please, whether moms are allowed to swing by just to breastfeed, and what their visitation policies are in general, and who else is allowed to visit a daycare. My nose? Papa's nose. That's right, Papa's eyes.
Glasses.
Mama's eyes. Oh, Papa's mouth. So sweet. What happens if you're late to pick up your child from day home? Or what is your policy when it comes to your kid being sick? Like, do you get a discount? What's your policy when you have to take your child on vacation? Do you get to skip that month's payment? So generally, all the day homes and daycares we've been to say that if your child misses a day or two or even an entire month of daycare, you do not get to save on that month, or you still have to pay for that month, because you're basically paying for your child's spot. Some daycare operators charge late fees if you are to pick up your child after hours. So for example, our daycare operates till 5:30. Is it $5 per 30 minutes, something like that?
I remember the charge per minute.
But our daycare of choice or day home of choice does not charge late fees. You just have to let her know in advance, even just the day of, that you'll be picking her up late, and then she won't charge any late fees. What is your potty training schedule? Whether they provide transportation or do they take your kids to field trips and stuff like that. The day home we had chosen does not transport kids anywhere. We prefer that our child just stays in one place. We prefer that we are the only ones driving her around, because I mean, anything can happen on the roads, you guys. No matter how safely you're driving, anything can happen. How and how often do you sanitize your toys or your play area? Due to the pandemic, I had to make sure I asked this question and get the right response. And the day home operator of our choice said that she has made sure that the kids wash their hands every 30 minutes to 45 minutes, all day long. And she makes sure that they refrain from hugging each other too much, or like too much close contact. She also makes sure that she sanitizes and cleans even the walls, like everything, all day long. While the children are playing, she's basically doing that at the end of every day. So basically, she does not expose them to all the toys at once. So if like today, she focuses on letting them play with these batch of toys, and then this very same evening, she would wash them, sanitize them, do whatever she needs, and the next day, she would expose them to another batch of toys. That way, she could give the first batch some time to dry up and wait for it to be like safe for use. What are the tuition and fees that you expect to be charged? You don't want any like hidden fees, any surprise charges, and you're like, whoa, what's going on, right? Whether there's any types of discounts that you can avail, such as like advance payment discounts. So if you pay for the entire year, can you get a discount? Or second sibling discounts. How long have your employees been working here? What are their certifications and training? You want to make sure they have some CPR training, police background check. Make sure that they have some sort of training or education when it comes to childcare. How long the employees have been working in that daycare for, and like whether there's high employee turnover. If the employees have been working there long, that means that they're being paid, and that means they're being treated well and that they're being rewarded well. It's really important that the employees are happy. Thank you, my love, just playing with my hair. It's really important that they're happy where they work, because that energy, the positive and happy energy, transfers over to the kids. So if these employees are unhappy or stressed, or they feel unappreciated or undermined, then guess what? They're not gonna take care of your child as well as they should. How do these childcare operators plan on keeping parents up to date, right, on the day-to-day activities and the day-to-day status of your child, and see how comfortable you are with the amount of updates that you're getting and the amount of communication back and forth between you and the operator when it comes to the status of your child. We have a communication book that we hand each other during drop-off and pick-up times every day, where we communicate with one another about what Sabrina has eaten, the number of times, and the consistency of her bowel movements. And then I basically communicate with her through that. Like, non-urgent ones, obviously, you just put in the book, but anything that you need to communicate in more real time, you could communicate with her via phone, text, or an email. We're so happy. What security measures are being taken at the facility? Sabrina's day home caregiver has security cameras mounted outside of her home and inside of her home. So awesome. Are you licensed, or are you accredited, or who are you accredited with, and all that stuff, if that's something that matters or that's important to you. Like I said, Justin and I had decided it doesn't matter to us whether the place is licensed. Our day home of choice is registered with the government as a daycare facility for sure. The operator does offer us receipts for each payment, so that at the end of the year we could include that in our tax processing and all that. If they have any references that you can contact, because references are key. That's where you get honest review from other parents. But of course, she would have to ask permission from these parents, whether it's all right for her to divulge their phone number to us for the sake of references. To tell you honestly, the main reason we had chosen her, besides all these great questions that she had given responses to that jived with our personal philosophies or our personal preferences, just talking to her gave me personally a good feeling. I had a good gut feeling about her, and I felt extra comfortable around her that I did not feel around other daycare operators when we had gone on other tours. So I just went with that. That's all I have for questions. Oh, you're playing with Mama's earrings.
So that's all we have for today's video.
Bye. Blue kiss. Blue kiss. That was a really long one. See how much he loves you guys? That was a really long one.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.
Bye. She knew.
Remember
Let's record the bye.